happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
It was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Day eluding the pressure right. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. To throw on 2nd down. Day completes it right side to Cooper. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 93 yards, and a score.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one after the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's still on his feet. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle.
You should have look on the little table by your mama's side and look on the table by my side.
Those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is.
It looks good. It's in there.
You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Going on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so you can grab as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everything possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card divisional round. Back to throw. Day.
What?
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. And they'll run it here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Day, flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go.
What? Come on.
looking across mid. A great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all it does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. From the shotgun now, here's an inside Gill. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Rolling to his left. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Got outside of the tackle box, and sometimes that can be a recipe for disaster, but here it was not.
It's frustrating for guys on defense, too, because he got out.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now 14-0. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they'll go on the ground. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
A second down throw for Prescott. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
I I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw. Day forced out to his left. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. He got 29 yards that time.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Day. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And on the ground they go with a running back. And now running right through it. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Norton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Prescott, wide open receiver, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that,
you want one of them dinosaurs?
Get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
To throw is Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Day escaping the pressure right. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On 1st and 10, Day. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run, and they're still accurate throwing the football.
Buying time to his left. Touchdown, Minnesota. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Lutz good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this 1st half. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now after the play, oh man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates his way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
In trouble, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's where it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to count for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And past the 30 down to about the 27. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Knocked off down near the 5. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
And I got the safe completion on 3rd. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on,
second
man.
down
Put the
pass
ball
play
down
there,
on
but it's incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. On 4th down, Day flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Let's go. 319.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to get to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
An excellent return that time. 20. Yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. Look at a gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And this is going to be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have 1 right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like an I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yardage.
Okay.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. And the Lions adding more points to their total, extending that lead. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He's going to run, but I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that...